Classification of orbitals. Classification of orbitals on the two bases, the number one, and here we will discuss the second one. Number one, on the basis of direction, and the second one is on the basis of diffusion. Here, two words are important. The first one is the direction, and the second word is the diffusion. On the basis of direction, these are further categorized in the two parts. First one is directional and the second one is non-directional. In the directional, p, d orbitals we will discuss. In the non-directional, s orbital we will discuss. As all we know that s orbital is a non-directional, it does not have any direction, where p, d and f have the direction. More diffuse. In the less diffuse, we will discuss sp orbitals, and in the more diffuse, we will discuss d, f orbitals. Next, for the bond formation, orbitals used, यहाँ पे हम दो चीज डिस्कस करेंगे. फर्स्ट, जो ऑर्बिटल यूज हो रहा है उसकी डायरेक्शन है या नहीं है. ठीक है, तो फॉर द बॉन्ड फॉर्मेशन ऑर्बिटल कौन सा यूज किया जाता है, जिसकी डायरेक्शन होनी चाहिए. द सेकंड विल बी लेस डिफ्यूज्ड, नॉट मोर डिफ्यूज. ठीक है, अगर आपको इफ यू वांट टू मेक अ बॉन्ड, द ऑर्बिटल यूज्ड should have some direction and have less diffused. You can remember one thing about the p orbital. P orbital are good for bonding. Why? P orbital have the directional and have shows the less diffuse property. So the order, if we talk about the order of bond formation among s, p and d, so we can arrange it, the order, bond formation order, which orbital will give the good bonding, shows the good bonding, that is the p, then s and the less d. Why d shows the less? Because d shows the high diffusion. In s does not have any direction but doesn't show any diffusion. So d orbitals. In d orbitals, there's two types of bonds we can talk, that is axial and the non-axial. Axial and the non-axial. In axial, the lobes are present on the axis, and in non-axial, the lobes are present in between the axis. Okay? You can write in lobes present in between the axis, and in axial, lobes present on the axis. This is the very important. In exams they have asked this type of question. There's axial means its lobe are present on the axis and between the axis. Competitive, non-competitive exam, in every exam they will ask in the in 1 mark or other mark. In board exam, okay, in 11th class, then you can, in competitive exams, everywhere you should know the basic now. So let's discuss about some axial and the non-axial. Here we will discuss about the axial, and here we will discuss about the non-axial. This is the along the x-axis and this is the y-axis. There is a lobe present on the axis. If lobes present on the axis, that is axial, and this is on what axis? Two axes are present, that is x and the y, and which give the dx square minus y square orbital. And the next one is, that is x-axis, and that is z. This is, that lobes are present on the axis. This is x square minus z square. And if we talk about, that is a y-axis, that is z, the slopes are also present on the axis, and this gives, that is z-axis minus y-axis. Okay, by adding both these we get the dz orbitals. We can get the dz का square. In the non-axial have 3 dxy, dyz and dzx. This is give the dxy, and this is y and the z. This will give the dyz, and similarly that is x and the z, that is xz. Okay, and these are non-axial and these are axial. So you should know the difference between the axial and the non-axial. In the axial, the lobes are present on the axis. In non-axial, lobes are present in between the axis.